Very good afternoon to all of you joining in. We are back live once again on a big day here at the Koramangala Indoor Stadium in Bengaluru, India. It's the day of the finals as Sri Lanka prepares to take on Singapore. A repeat of the two finals in 2018 and 2022. And what a game this could turn out to be. Group A, Group B, for the first time, 14 teams participating in the 13th Asian Netball Championship. Group A had the likes of Sri Lanka, Malaysia, Philippines, Maldives, India, Japan, and Saudi Arabia. Group B with Singapore, Hong Kong, Brunei, Thailand, Chinese Taipei, Iraq, and Bahrain. For the first time ever, three teams from the Middle East participating. The third and the fourth position games, Hong Kong played against Malaysia, and Malaysia finding themselves at the third spot yet again. Here are the Sri Lankan sides, the defending champions, arriving at the stadium a short while back. They will be pumped up for this one. Haven't lost a game in the last two editions. Have won the championship undefeated. And can they create history? It's going to be the third time if they get there in a row. Been 6-time champions, but it will be third time being undefeated. And we did manage to speak to the coach of the Sri Lankan side, and here's what the coach had to say about facing Singapore in the finals. But before that, these are the scenes of the Singapore team arriving. Both these teams have been undefeated. You can see the pictures there. Amandeep Kaur making her way to the arena.
I'm Dulangi Vanitilaka from Team Sri Lanka. Today is our final game with Singapore. Past few days, my girls doing very well. So we hope to do our best today game also. And we're looking forward to play against Singapore. ඒ වගේම ස්තුතිවන්ත වෙනවා ශ්‍රී ලංකාව ඉඳන් අපිට ආශිර්වාද කරන සියලු දෙනාටම මේ වෙනතෙක් ඒ වගේම අද අපේ අවසන් තරඟය නැවත වරත් ආසියානු අනුශූරතාවය ලංකාවට ගෙනෙන්න ඔයාලගේ ආශිර්වාදය අපිට ලබා දෙන්න. ස්තුතියි.
මම නැෂනල් කෝල් ශ්‍රී ලංකා ටීම් සිංහලෙන් කතා කරන්නේ කෝ එකයි මම හිතන්නේ අද අපේ ජයග්‍රහණය සඳහා තියෙන අවසන් දවස සිංගප්පූරු සමග අවසන් තරගය සූදානම් වෙනවා ක්‍රීඩිකාවන් ශාරීරික මානසික මට්ටමට හොඳින් ඉන්නවා. ඉතින් මට විශ්වාසයි නැවතත් ආසියානු සූරතාවේ ලංකාව රැගෙන යන්න අපේ ක්‍රීඩිකා හොඳින් ක්‍රීඩා කරයි කියලා හොඳ තරගයක් දෙන්න අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා. Thank you.
My name is Mi Hong, coach of Singapore. I'm very pleased with the team's performance throughout the tournament. We make adjustments to improve our game, and we just want to enjoy the game today, making good decisions against the Sri Lankas in the final.
Hi, my name is Ting Fang and I play wing defense for Team Singapore. So it's been a long 2 weeks of competition for us and we're really excited that we are finally here at the finals. So today as we go on to the finals, we're hoping to connect with each other well, stay true to the play that we always have at Singapore, and hopefully we'll bring home the cup as well. Thank you.
Pretty confident there. Ting Fang, who plays in the wing defense position for Singapore. Some of the officials and the players arriving. And here they come. First, the Singapore girls making their grand entrance towards the court. Heard the coach said they have made adjustments to their style of play, and can they be third time lucky is the question. The two times they've played in Sri Lanka back in 2018 and 2022. The scoreline, it wasn't far away, 63-53 in 2022, 69-50, both in favor of Sri Lanka. Absolute champions they've been. How crucial would be Tishala. And here's how they would start this fixture. Gayani, as always, starts back in the goal. Malmi in the goal defense. Sushima in the wing defense. Gayanjali plays through the center. The skipper, Dulangi, White on the wing attack position. Rashmi as the goal attacker and would assist Tishala, who plays as the goal shooter. Substitutes Hashita, Gayatri, Shanika, Sachini, Nisha. And the head coach is Mrs. Prasadi and the team manager, Mrs. Padmini. And I'm glad to be joined by my co-commentator for this fixture, Liam Bain. Liam, welcome. How do you see this fixture going?
Thank you so much, Junaid. As we take a look at the Singapore lineup, there's Mishalini in the goalkeeping position, Jamie Lim in the goal defense. The white defense has Ko Ting Fang. In the center, it's Mickey Min. And up top, those three is To Kai Wei, Amandeep Kaur, and Lee Pei Shan. And on the bench, they've got Go Wei Ping, who didn't feature yesterday in the semi-finals, Rachel Ling, Reena Sindhu, and Yu Shu Ning. The head coach is Leo Mi Hong, and we're all very excited for this particular fixture. As you said, Junaid, it is the third time that these two sides in a row are playing the finals. Singapore haven't been able to get the better of Sri Lanka, but is this the day that they end their 10-year wait and finally pick up the title once again? They have already won this championship 3 times, but in the last few years, it has been the Sri Lankan hurdle that they haven't been able to cross. And Junaid, you've called quite a few of the Sri Lanka games. What do you think they have in store for us today?
Well, they've got some absolute top-notch performers, Liam, because the likes of Tishala, who's been top-notch quality in front of the goal. She's done bulk of the scoring alongside Rashmi, has been ably supported in the attacking positions by Dulangi, who's led the team brilliantly through the center. Gyanjali has been absolutely top-notch with her distribution of the ball and have been ably supported in the backline as well. Gayani has been absolutely good, commanding that circle. And yes, they looked a very, very good side, pretty strong to beat. But Singapore, for sure, has got something surprising kept in store for them. We'll have to wait and see how it pans out for the entirety of the 60 minutes. There's the Sri Lankan side taking the center stage.
Yes, it's very exciting. Sri Lankans take the court, and as always, they've got a lot of fans, a lot of family around, a lot of young fans as well. And they have been representing the Sri Lankan side ever so well. 6-time champions, looking to make it 7. But Singapore, on the other hand, as you mentioned, have the ability to do something different every time they speak before the game. They say we want to keep getting better, we want to try new things, we want to prepare ourselves. And it's no secret that these two teams throughout the competition do whatever they do, keeping in mind that they will play each other most probably in the finals. And after 10 days of grueling netball, they do find each other in the finals. So let's see how this one goes. And the beauty of the Singapore side is that they do rely not only on one person, but there is To, there is Amandeep and Lee, and of course Go Wei Ping. So on top, they have a quartet which is very tough to go up against.
That's right, and we'll probably have to try and win those balls because Sri Lanka have looked pretty dominant, especially when it comes down to backtracking, winning those balls and trying to get those interceptions right. And here's the umpires officiating this fixture. Kate Wright. Tobia Wilson. There's the Singapore side ready for one challenge. It's been one of the most successful sides after Sri Lanka in Asia. Managed 3 titles so far, back in 2005, 2012, 2014, 6 times runners-up. Finished on the 3rd position quite a few times as well, and it's just about getting better. Maybe This is the day as we prepare for the national anthems of both the sides.
What incredible pride resounding through the stadium as we heard the national anthems of Sri Lanka and Singapore. They exchange the mementos as we always see. As we take a look at the lineups once again, there's Gayani, Malmi, Shushema in the goalkeeping, goal defense, and wide defense positions. Gayanjali runs it all in the center. Dulangi, the wide attacker. Rashmi, the goal attacker, who's always supporting Tishala, who is scoring goal after goal in this competition. For Singapore, Mishal in the goalkeeping position, Jamie Lim in the goal defense. The wide defense has Kor Ting Fang, Mickey in the center, Tor Kai Wei, who had incredible assists yesterday, Amandeep and Lee up top, always finding the net. That's how both the teams line up. We're all set to go in the third consecutive final between Sri Lanka and Singapore. Sri Lanka looking to make it 7-time champions. Singapore trying to knock them off their perch. Here we go.
Here we go with the umpire's whistle. Sri Lanka going from right to left on your screens. There's Amandeep Kaur, backward pass, lob over the defense there, trying to fit inside the circle. 1 and 2 with Amandeep Kaur. Will have a go at the target, finds the goal shooter in Lee. Looks like there has been an infringement there. Will have a penalty pass and breaks the deadlock. Singapore off and running in this final.
That's what they're all about. And that is what Lee is all about, not making any mistakes. And the turnovers will be very important. Here comes Sri Lanka for the first time. Played over the top. Eventually they will look for Tishala. And she misses that one. And that is the first turnover. Here comes Singapore now. They will have possession. And how important it will be if they can get a good start and take the lead. Here they come again, looking to make it 2. 10 moves backwards. Here's Amandeep, who likes to take a few shots initially, but she plays it to Lee, and this could be the second. Singapore with a great start in the final.
Well, that's right, and the way it's going to turn out is how good a day would Lee and Tishala have? Can they try and beat that defense? Is what going to be the most important question. Here's Amandeep Kaur again, shifts it towards the wing attack. Lee finds the ball again, a looping delivery targeting her, and that's going to be third one straight for Singapore. Sri Lanka will have to try and find a response at the earliest. There have been a lot of deliveries fed inside the circle, and the defense hasn't been up to the task. Lee has been able to grab all of those deliveries coming towards her.
What a start this is. Don't see the Sri Lankan team under pressure too often. And just before Tishala could shoot, a timeout called by the umpire because there's a towel or something had fallen. But she will continue and she scores. Nothing can break Tishala's momentum, and that will settle the nerves of the Sri Lankan side in this final. Even them, 2-time champions in a row, will have a bit of nerves. Here's Amandeep. She wants to take her first shot. No, she doesn't. But she played the ball to Lee, but it will be a free shot. Looking to make it 4 now. This will be a great start for the Singapore team, and she doesn't miss. It's 4-1.
That's right, and the movement before that, Amandeep from the center, driving the defense out, taking it towards, stretching it towards the right, and then creating some sort of space for Lee. Here's Sri Lanka through Dulangi. Dulangi looking for options, scans the circle, goes towards the center, finds Gayanjali. Will have a shot at the target perhaps. Was there an infringement down there? Finds Tishala. And Tishala hasn't missed anything in this tournament up until now. The conversion rate has been good. The shooting percentage has been really good. And here comes Singapore again. This time from the wing. Another one, Amandeep. And this time just trickles over. Looks like Sri Lankan hand caught the ball. Here's Tan. Finds Amandeep again. Amandeep goes again towards the right, and Probably looks like there is a contact there, an infringement. And Amandeep adds one more to the total.
Ice in the veins of Amandeep and Lee. The Sri Lankan defense have no answers so far. The attack, however. Oh, that's a miss from Tishala. And there was a tap on the rebound, which means she might get another free shot. But you can see, you can sense a bit of nerves from the Sri Lankan team. Maybe this is what Singapore had discussed. Just don't give them that opportunity to start dominating. Tishala just about gets one back. That is 3-5 now. Singapore haven't missed a beat. And that is what they need. They need an absolute perfect game to beat the likes of Sri Lanka. We've seen them lose to them in the past, of course. That's a nice pass again. Here comes Chahal, who scores another. And they are feeling like they're in a final here, Singapore. They mean business.
That's right, and they have come with a good game plan. Here's Sri Lanka, meanwhile, trying to make things work. Tishala will have a go at the target, and Tishala gets one back for Sri Lanka. They did discuss about improvement has been their course of action right throughout this tournament. Every game, it's been the same story for them. And on the day of the big finals, faced two defeats back-to-back in last two editions, and this time trying desperately to make this one count. There's again the wing attack shifting towards Amandeep Kaur Chahal. Bounces off the court, again moves aside from Gayanjali to try and take that one over Gayanjali this time. Gets it back, a good 1-2 there, finds Lee Pishan, and Lee again, as always, does what she does the best. Scores one more for Singapore.
Absolutely, it's a 3-goal cushion now for the Singapore side. Now the ball over the top, but there was an infringement before that. Sri Lanka just have to stay in it, and Tishala will make sure that happens. Here's Rashmi, her first opportunity, makes no mistake, and every time they score they just calm each other down because they sense that Singapore are dominating. You just have to stay in the game, wait for them to make their first mistake. Lee Pishan takes another shot and makes no mistake at all. Sri Lanka will have to wait a little longer if they are to get a mistake out of this Singapore side. End-to-end stuff here in the 13th Asian Netball Championships final. We've waited a long time for this matchup. These two teams have been so dominant, winning 7 games each coming into this final. And as you mentioned, unbeaten before this in 2 championships in a row, the Sri Lankan team. But Singapore with the turnover. Brilliant defensive work. They turn it into attack very quickly. Here's Amandeep. She turns, shoots, and scores. It's 9-5 to Singapore now. A 4-goal lead.
Well, that's a wow moment from Singapore. Turning defense into attack in a blink of an eye. And so far, so good for the girls in blue. Not giving anything away. Here's Lee Pishan again. With an outstretched left hand. This time rebounds. And falls to one of the yellow shirts down there. And they'll get the game started. Sri Lanka. The good point that you made, Liam, is they'll have to try and stay in the game, both these teams, because they haven't let anyone run away. Here's Tishala bouncing onto that one. There was a contact there. We'll have a go at the target. And Tishala scores one more, pulls one back. Calming each other down is another important thing, because in moments like these, you might just get carried away by the occasion. You have to be in the moment, be in the game, and try and take every minute as it comes, every event as it comes.
Absolutely, and I think the pressure is slightly on Sri Lanka for the simple reason that they are expected to win. Because they've been so dominant, 6-time champions, everybody expects them to win. Here's Tishala, who has a chance. That is 7. They have decreased the deficit to only 2. And that is why Singapore are playing slightly more freer. and taking the game to them, putting the pressure on them. It's all about the psychology in a final sometimes. And Chahal and Lee moving around nicely. This is the importance of having two people who play as goal shooter quite often. Chahal playing as goal attacker this time, and Lee makes another easy conversion. It's 10-7 now to the Singapore side, who have ice in their veins. They win possession back once again. Here's Chahal, plays it towards Lee, takes it down. Chance to increase the lead by 4. No problem whatsoever.
Absolutely brilliant from Singapore. Intercepted, and one pass towards Amandeep, who finds Lee eventually, and Lee allows the defender to commit first and then goes through with a shot. Here's an overlapping run coming in from the wide defense. Shifts it towards the right. Here's Dulangi. Rashmi on the ball, beg your pardon. Here's Dulangi now with Rashmi, with Dulangi. Looking for options, finds Gayanjali. Gayanjali looking for options towards the center. Finds Tishala, who takes a step and shoots, converts. Good work done by Sri Lanka. They've reduced the deficit to only 3 now, with 4 minutes and a thick bit left in the first quarter. Edge of the seat stuff. This is turning out to be given away. Here's Singapore again. The defense is slightly off guard. Amandeep Kaur will have a go at the target, and Amandeep scores. Brilliantly done. Have restored that lead back to 4. Liam, this is turning out to be some final at this stage.
Oh yes, Singapore have come out all guns blazing. Here they go again. Amandeep plays it to Lee. Absolutely no chance for the Sri Lankan defense. And look at Lee, she just scores and turns back. And you made a good point before this, that both these sides haven't been tested so far. They haven't really been behind like this. And that is another nice interception from Singapore. One and then the other. But the second one is slightly illegal. Amandeep will have to watch. Here comes Sri Lanka again. 5 goals in it. Over the top to Rashmi. That's another touch, which means that it went off her eventually. And you can see there are quite a few Sri Lankan faces who know that this game is not going to be a cakewalk. Here's Toka away. Over the top to Lee. There was a foul before that. She will have to start again. Both of them starting in the same place, Amandeep and Lee. Amandeep will get a free shot and plays it straight to her. And this is phenomenal stuff from Singapore. Every time they get the ball back, they make the most of it. It's 14-8 to them.
That's right, and the way this is going to pan out, in the end, it's going to be... Here's Lee again. We'll have a go at the target. Lee. Here's Sri Lanka. Through Dulangi. It's all going to come down to who makes the lesser number of mistakes in the end. And over the top of the defense, and Tishala gets one more back.
And here they go again. Amandeep to make it 16. This one she misses. And could that be a bit of a swing in momentum? And there's the Japanese side watching on. And it's great to see that a lot of the teams who have participated in the tournament have come out to watch this final. Lots of Sri Lankan support, of course. Everybody watching from home on the Sports KPI YouTube channel. Here comes Tishala again. And that is double digits for Sri Lanka. And the crowd need to get on their side in the stadium. Otherwise, it could be an issue for them to retain their crown. For now, Singapore doing the dominating, but Sri Lanka have to just stay within touching distance of them. Gayanjali has the ball. Over the top to Tishala. Misha couldn't stop her. That's another one. 11 on the board for them with just about a minute to go.
Right, and they've just got their noses in front. Here's Amandeep Kaur again, link it up beautifully with Lee. Once again, Lee allows the goalkeeper to commit first, Gayani, and then has a jibe at the target and another easy conversion for her. Scores a huge shout out to the Netball Federation of India. The tournament that was initially scheduled to take place in Saudi Arabia was moved to India after a gap of 35 long years, and has been quite an event. All the teams participating have enjoyed this thoroughly, and we are down to one final day, the final game. Here comes Sri Lanka again, this time Gyanjali finding Thishala with utmost ease, who converts once again, bringing that deficit down to 4.
And Lee again under the net, making no mistake. 17 on the board. She means business. That's the Saudi Arabian side watching on. They won yesterday to confirm 13th spot, and that is the whistle to signal the end of the first quarter. What a start from Singapore. They don't want to settle for silver anymore. They get a 17-12 lead, taking it into the second quarter. What a start from them. So the Singapore team, high in spirits as they should be, leading this one by 5. Sri Lanka don't know what's hit them. Singapore have been runners up too many times, I think. 6 is enough, they must be saying. as they want to get this trophy back to Singapore. Here they come again. Moving it quite nicely. Chahal waits for the contact to be made, plays it to Lee, who turns. This is to make it 18. And they do. Wonderful stuff. And Junaid, this is the first time that we've seen this Sri Lankan side under pressure and losing by 6.
Well, that's right. And like you pointed out, they don't know what has hit them because they've been so dominant against all the opponents they've played so far. There hasn't been any sort of competition presented to them. And today, the girls from Singapore have just turned things around. Still a long, long way to go in this game. But from the outset, the way Singapore have come out of the blocks and have tried to dominate Sri Lankans, they have looked a different team in all sorts. Here's Tishala, again finding one back for the Sri Lankans. Still got a long way, like I just said. Here's Singapore again, trying to build out. Scanning the options in front. Down and across. Here's the wing attack. Again, trying a little bit of a give and go with Mickey Min. Losing out on the possession.
And concerned faces on the Sri Lankan bench. If Singapore can keep this sort of momentum up for the rest of the game, then they have a big problem. A couple of contacts there. It will be a foul, I'm sure, in favor of Sri Lanka. Now Rashmi plays it over the top for Tishala. Easy as you like. And there they go. And what I've noticed in this game is a lot of teams just sit back and they wait for Sri Lanka to attack and they try to get the ball off Tishala or try to get the pass in between Rashmi and Tishala or Gayanjali and Tishala. But Singapore are doing something else. They're trying to win the ball in the center third, not waiting for, oh well, it's a good day to have some snacks and watch the final. That's the Iraq side. So they're not waiting for them to go into the goal third. They're trying to win the ball there before they go into the circle, and that is working really well from the Singapore point of view. Here they go with the turnover again. Tan plays it to Amandeep, who likes to score from this sort of an angle and makes no mistake. That's 19 now for the Singapore team. Everything working their way. Here they come again over the top. Lee this time isn't able to keep it under control.
That's right, and a very good point that you try to make. The other teams trying to sit back, try to win it from Tishala. Well, you try to win it from Tishala and the likes of Rashmi, then good luck to you. That's not going to happen. And well, Singapore, they have come out with a strategy, trying to win it before it comes down to the final third. Again, there Sri Lanka playing down the line towards Tishala, who converts one more time. It's good to see all the teams turning out here. We just saw the pictures of the Indian team munching on some snack and watching this game. Here's Amandeep Kaur with an outstretched right hand, grabs that one, plays it towards Lee, and Lee makes it 20 now for Singapore. Still got about 11 minutes and 30 seconds left in the second quarter, and they are up and running. Another easy ball finding Mickey Ming, unchallenged, unmarked. Here's Amandeep towards the left, finds Lee in the center. And that's going to be an infringement perhaps, and we'll get a restart. Here's Amandeep on the ball, bounced off the court. We'll have a go at the target perhaps. No, that was a bluff. Finds Lee, who converts it and makes it 21 to Singapore. That lead is getting stretched, Liam.
Absolutely. The intensity, the fire that they're playing with, Sri Lanka can't match it right now. They don't have an answer. But they need to stay in the game. They are an experienced side. They have won this competition more often than any other country. So they need to just have faith in themselves. Rashmi plays this one to Tishala, who controls herself from falling over and then finds the net. And the coaches will be happy with the way Singapore have started, but we know how quickly a lead like this can be just snatched away from you. We saw an 8-goal lead yesterday from Brunei against Philippines overturned. Sri Lanka definitely can do the same as long as they stay in this game. Here's Lee, she turns and Gets a tap, so she will get a free shot. Or will they? Oh, it's Chahal who will take it, and she scores. Back to a 6-goal lead. This is fantastic stuff from Singapore, and you can hear the crowd also, the Sri Lankan fans feeling the heat. Usually so loud, but now they can feel like their side is under pressure.
Like you said, they'll have to try and stay in the game. Try and score on every opportunity they have. Make less number of mistakes. Don't commit too many fouls. Win the ball. And again, good defensive work from Gayani. Scanning options. They have become the first line of defense there in Lee as well as in the wing attack. But here comes Sri Lanka. Rashmi decides to back pass. Wing defense finds Gayanjali. They'll have to settle those nerves down as quickly as possible. Over the top ball and intercepted. Has that been given as a contact? Looks like it has been, because she retrieves the ball and hurls it towards Tishala. Tishala will have a free pass and gets one back for the Sri Lankans. We'll have to try and get the likes of Dulangi on the ball consistent basis, because she gets those passes inside the circle, feeds inside the circle from different angles, and that can just prove to be the decisive factor in trying to break that back line Singapore has.
Yeah, they're looking for answers here, Sri Lanka. Another bit of contact, but they will continue. Great ball. That is more like it from them. Tishala will convert. 18-22. She's not missing a beat. And that will give a lot of confidence to the Sri Lankan side. As long as Tishala is scoring, they know that they can always overturn a 4-goal lead or anything like that. Here's Rashmi. She scores as well. Only 3 between them now. Incredible stuff here. What a final we're witnessing. We've had quite a few one-sided games throughout this competition, but this one is far from that, as it should be. Both these teams ran away with the semi-finals yesterday, but these two are the best in the business in the Asian continent. Lee from a distance scores. Superb form. Taking it to 23 now. And between Amandeep and Lee Junaid, they are not putting a foot wrong, are they?
That's right. Like we have been mentioning, they've been really good with their conversions. The shot percentage has been up, and this time Rashmi gets one back. 2023 is being an edge of a seat thriller at the moment. This is definitely going to go down to the wire. Shot gets blocked, and well, that attack was cut short by the Sri Lankan defense. Great work there from the goal defense for Sri Lanka. Again, trying to bring it forward. Here's Gyanjali, shifts it towards the left. Rashmi takes it, belts it down forward for Dulangi. Dulangi goes back again for Gyanjali, finds to end the process. There's a contact made there. We'll have a penalty pass and converts. Brings the deficit down to 2. What a game this is turning out to be. And as it should be, like Liam said, there's again Sri Lanka tracing those options up front. And an infringement there. Singapore on the turnover. Well, if this score line gets Sri Lanka ahead, I'm pretty sure the fans are going to get noisier. We do have a significant Sri Lankan presence inside the stadium. Here's Amandeep. Just misses the target. Well, you'll have to try and avoid those.
Yeah, that could be a big momentum shifter. I don't think she needed to go for that one. Needed to just keep it to a 3-goal lead. Now it's only 2. And we know in netball you can score and then get possession back. So it's basically a 1-possession game here. And that's a lovely interception. Jamie Lim just getting there before Tishala could, parrying it out. 5.5 to play, and possession changes hands again. That is better from Singapore. There is Tan, keeps it in play to To KY. Back to Amandeep. Is she going to shoot? No, she isn't. She plays it to Lee, who does really well to take it down and scores. 24 on the board now for Singapore. She has got her game face on. And Singapore have to make sure not to lose possession the way Sri Lanka are, because that could be the biggest difference. The turnovers are one of the most important things in a netball game. If you've got possession, you have to make the most of it. And Lee is doing absolutely that. She turns to get it to 25 and she scores.
Well, brilliant positional awareness from Lee. Was pretty much sure where she was positioned at, where she was standing. Decides to go back and then made that room for herself to try and get it goalwards, and then had a shot towards the target and convert. And here's on the other side this time, Rashmi gets one back for Sri Lanka and bring that deficit back to 3 again. Here's Singapore again trying to bring it forward. Here's Amandeep Kaur. We've got options towards the left and decides to go through the center and find Lee. The ball evades everyone eventually and goes out of the court for a throw into Sri Lanka. And they will bring forward. And there's a contact there. Gyanjali for the wing attacker. Dulangi. Rashmi. Gyanjali. Give and go. Steps forward. Finds Tishala. Easy as you like. Just one more added to the tally. Tishala was enjoyed really, really good conversion right throughout this tournament, and has been one of the brightest of prospects in the 13th Asian Netball Championship.
You can hear a lull in the crowd, of course, but it's only a 2-goal game, as I mentioned. And now I think the pressure is slightly on Singapore, because as Sri Lanka chase them, they are looking over their shoulder. Look at the bench, none of them are sitting. There's still a lot of time to go, and Sri Lanka know that. And if they can pull it back even before half-time, then I think they are the favorites going into the third and fourth quarter. Here they come again. Anjali plays it through for Tishala. That's a wonderful ball over the top, and she converts. Just the 1 goal in it now, and slowly but surely the Asian champions are pulling it together. Singapore making a few mistakes, but To Kai, in fact it's Go Wei Ping who's been brought on, and no, it's To Kai who's playing in the goal attacking position. Amandeep has been taken off, so a few of those mistakes costing Singapore. And here is the chance for Sri Lanka to equalize. The stadium might just erupt now. Rashmi. Oh, she was waiting for the contact, but it goes the Singapore way. Lots of Singapore fans in the stadium as well. Can they make the most of this possession? Tan has to go back and start again. Go Wei Ping is playing in the wide attacking position, and there was a tap before that. Look at the bench, they're watching on. They know that they might have to come in soon and keep up the intensity. Nice ball towards Lee, and for the first time we're seeing To Kai Wei playing in the goal attacking position, so they just might have a few tricks up their sleeve here, Singapore. But either way, Junaid, what a final we're witnessing, aren't we?
That's right, and this game is definitely going to go down to the wire, because both these teams won't give up. They know what's at stake. There's championship on the line. Sri Lanka could be third straight for them. Singapore have come close on too many a times, and they sense this is definitely an opportunity. Here's Lee again, and Lee again converts. Slender lead is what they have maintained. Any sniff to these Sri Lankan girls, they will surely pounce on it. They've definitely come up very good defensively in the last 10 minutes. Another looping ball, another easy one to find Tishala. Makes it to 26 for Sri Lanka with 30 seconds left in the second quarter. There's Singapore bringing it forward. They have taken Amandeep Kaur out. I'm pretty sure she would be involved at certain stage in the third quarter. This time, the goal attacker, a no-look pass finds Lee. What a ball that is. And an easy conversion in the end. Well done, Singapore.
Fantastic, and that is what she's all about. Tokawe, wonderful pass over the top for Tishala, who almost thought she missed, but she will be the sigh of relief. And these are the things that Singapore have been keeping under wraps. Oh, and possession given away, trying to find the pass, and that is unlucky from a Sri Lankan point of view. They were surely going to equalize, but mentally for Singapore, this is better for them. They take a 1-goal lead, but it was a lot more at one point. It's a time where all of us can breathe a little bit and take it all in, because this has been a sensational final so far. Sri Lanka trail by 1, which is something you don't say too often, as we take a look at a few of the highlights. This woman Lee has been in superb form. She's not missed anything. Tishala, of course, doesn't really miss. We've never seen her miss any. A few tackles coming in, a few fouls, lots of free shots. The defenses have been busy, but the attackers know exactly where the net is. Amandeep and Lee have got them off to a flyer. And now it is up to the rest of the side to just keep their cool, I would say, because these two have found their rhythm. Amandeep might come back in later, but Rashmi, as always, bringing the goods and turning up, playing that perfect support role for Tishala, who has been scoring with ease again and was a little annoyed with that. Some good interceptions as well. That one was from JB Lim. Lee with another conversion. It's a packed house here at Koramangala Indoor Stadium, and we're thoroughly enjoying the action in the 13th Asian Netball Championships final. It's the third time in a row that Sri Lanka and Singapore are playing each other. And Singapore have brought the game to Sri Lanka, but it is the champions who have been crawling back, which sets us up for a wonderful third and fourth quarter. That's the trophy they're fighting for. Who will pick up the gold? That is the question. Wonderful trophies on display. So as we take a bit of a breather, it is 27 to Sri Lanka, 28 to Singapore, as they keep the lead in this exhilarating final. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon with the third quarter.
We're back live once again for the start of quarter number 3. Sri Lanka versus Singapore. And what a final this is turning out to be. Singapore marginally ahead, taking the game to Sri Lanka. They've talked about strategies, talked about improving themselves, and my God, how they have improved. Some nervous faces before the start of the third quarter. They haven't been tested. Okay, Anjali will get the game underway. Going from left to right on your screens. Have to try and make less number of mistakes in the last 30 minutes. Both these teams have stuck to their task. Sri Lanka, for the first time that backline has been tested. Brilliant defensive work. There was a contact made. Tishala will have a go at the target. And once again, converse pretty easily. Here comes Singapore now. Brilliant overlap there. Give and go. Back with Ming King. Finds Lee. Loose ball there. Was there a contact made from behind? Finds in front of the goal there, the goal attacker, and gets one for Singapore. It has been enterprising stuff from one end of the court to the other. Gyanjali finds Tishala, who has a contact with the goalkeeper. And Tishala easily just rolls it through the net for one more to be added to the total. Haven't seen Amandeep back as yet. Maybe towards the halfway mark of the third quarter. Here's Lee again. Touch of disdain about this girl. Looks to be in proper zone. And that's the height advantage can do. If Tishala can score on one side of the court, then you've got the likes of Lee on the other side. Another ball, Rashmi, beg your pardon, finding Tishala. There was another contact, this time a deflection. Was there a contact made from behind? Was there an obstruction? Looks like the referee has called for an infringement. Well, she can't miss out on those, Tishala. Have to try and feed those balls consistently inside the circle. This time a switch in the play. Ming King towards the right. Here's the wing attacker. Decides to go with a back pass. Has been scanning for options. Hasn't been finding any. They've been brilliantly defending, the Sri Lankan girls. And the contact was made perhaps. And there's going to be a penalty pass for Singapore. And they get it back. Takes the score to 31. Still a very slender lead, Liam. This is just going to get exciting from here on.
Oh yes, here they go again. Sri Lanka don't want to give Singapore this lead for any longer. They take it back and make it 31 all. And the double possessions will be very important after they get back. After they score, if you get back possession, you can score 2 in a row. Tokaiwe plays it wide, and that is a mistake from Singapore. Could this be the time where Sri Lanka takes the lead for the first time? And once they do, they are relentless. This is a very important point in the game. Sri Lanka with possession, taking their time. A few of the fans chanting as well. That is a tap, which means that it will be a free pass. Anjali plays it over the top. And Tishala just about kept it in. She couldn't get the shot away. Another ball over to her. This is the chance for Sri Lanka to take the lead. And she scores. And they do erupt in elation. And now Sri Lanka get the lead and they also get possession. As I said, the two consecutive possessions are always important. Here's Rashmi. Plays it back over the top. They're playing a patient build-up now. They're trying to take control of this game. There is a foul. They will take their time. Tense moments for the umpires as well. Rashmi misses, and Tishala on the rebound most certainly will score. Yes, she does. Now it is Sri Lanka's game. 33-31, Junaid, and a bit of momentum is swinging here.
Well, that's right, and they'll have to try and keep themselves in the contest. Singapore, they've had a pretty good start, just can't throw it away. Oh, what a shot that is. Absolutely brilliant from the goal attacker. Gets one back for Singapore. They're going to fight fire with fire, Singapore. With the championship at stake, can't take any chances. Here's another link up. Rashmi gets it. Rashmi will have a go at the target. Rebound, but wriggles over from inside and through it for another one for Sri Lanka. A lot of Sri Lankan contingent present inside the stadium. We've got some Singapore fans as well. All the teams watching. Here's Lee meanwhile, evading both the defenders and gets one more added to the tally for Singapore. Trying to nick it away. And it's going to be Sri Lanka ball. Here's Gayanjali. Not in the right sort of spaces for the pass. Quick short passes. Finds Tishala. Well, that's something that the height advantage can do. Not allowing the goalkeeper and the goal defense to get to it. And another easy conversion like so many others right throughout this tournament. Here comes Singapore again. Again finds a long ball forward. The attacker finds Lee. And Lee will eventually find the target. Good stuff, Singapore, yet again.
Here comes Sri Lanka once again, looking to make it a 2-goal lead. And the intensity has dropped from a Singapore point of view. As I said, they have to keep it going for the entirety of the 60 minutes. Otherwise, it's very tough to beat a team like Sri Lanka, who know exactly what they are doing. Rashmi plays it through for Tishala, who's right under the net. As you said, that height advantage always pays off. And Singapore need to dig deeper here. They almost lose possession. Luckily for them, it was a foul. You can feel the pressure in the stadium. It falls to Tokaiwe. It hits someone's leg. She will go ahead and take it and score. Wonderful technique from her. And I wonder when the likes of Amandeep Kaur will come back into this game, or whether they're going to go ahead with Tokaiwe, because she is another phenomenal player. Gave one of the assists of the tournament yesterday as the ball was going out of play. Just pulled it back and set it up so nicely for Lee. Here's Rashmi. That is a block from Misha. They're trying to win back possession here, Singapore. That's another foul. And it should be a yellow ball. Contact between Rashmi and Lim. As we see the replay. 6.5 to play. Tishala gets another one under the goal. This should be 37. No surprises there. 2-goal lead for Sri Lanka.
That's right, and well, like you pointed out, Amandeep Kaur, maybe some fresh legs. But when they come back, there's another turnover. Finds, well, the referee, the umpire has pulled it back. Was an infringement down there. Was asking for a towel probably to just wipe out the sweat on the court. Still got 6 minutes in the third quarter. And this is Phenomenal stuff from both these sides. Bounces off the court. Here's a goal attacker. Here's Dulangi for Gayanjali. Finds Tishala, but the goalkeeper was up to the task. Just tips it over. We'll have to keep that doing consistently now. We'll have to be some defensive work, as well as some barrage of attacks should come in the opposite direction. That has been cut short by the umpire. We'll have a go at it again. Shifts it towards the right, finds the goal attacker again, and this time gets one back. That lead has, deficit has come down to 1 now. This is getting really exciting.
Oh yes, exciting indeed, and for a second, Kaur thought that she won the ball back, and you can hear the moans and groans. Most of the crowd wanting the Singapore win by the looks of it. You can feel the tension in the arena. Rashmi scores, and it is another 2-goal lead. Singapore just have to stay in it. This game can turn whenever. Such is netball. Go Wei Ping plays it to Toh Kai Wei, who doesn't miss. Sensational stuff from her. What a player. We've seen some fantastic individual performances in this competition, and this could be a championship winning one from her and Lee. But the big but is Sri Lanka are dominating once again. And here is Tishala. She is the epitome of big performances. Scored 50, 60 goals in some games in the competition. How about that for a stop in the goalkeeping position there from Gayani. Here's Toh Kai Wei, plays it to Lee. That is a fantastic pass. That is what she's all about. And Lee converts yet another. Just not missing at all, even in a final, even when everything is against you. How about that for a pass? Tishala just about keeps it in, and she will score. That's 40 to Sri Lanka.
There's been wow stuff on both sides of the court. Those long balls hurled forward, belted down the court. It's been picked up with utmost ease, and this time again, they've managed to get one back, Singapore. Well, if you can score one, we have all those responses, all those replies in readiness, is what Singapore says. Anjali with the restart. Out comes Rashmi. Rashmi for Dulangi. Dulangi looking for a better option. Gets towards Tishala. Umpire has pulled it back. Here's Rashmi. She gets it just outside the circle. Shifted left. Back with Gayanjali, who finds Rashmi again. Allows the goal defense to commit first and then gets through with the shot and scored. 41-39. This is an enthralling contest between two top sides in Asia. Here's Singapore. Another long ball forward. It's been pulled back again. Tension is in the air on both sides. And this time he weighs everyone. Had a bit more weight behind that one and goes out of the play for a throw-in Sri Lanka's favour. And here comes Sri Lanka. They'll have to try and avoid those mistakes. Singapore, they are trailing this game. It's not going to be one of those games wherein you would end up winning by huge margins. A slender margin of 1 and 2 would be enough at the end of the fourth quarter. And it looks like one of those games.
Oh yes, it could be one of those games, and Tishala misses for a change, and they're so unused to her missing that Reena just took out Rashmi on trying to get the rebound. Tishala is not going to miss twice in a row, that's for sure. Tension on the coaches' faces as well. And with that foul, it means that Sri Lanka will keep possession. They were losing by 1 goal at the end of the second quarter. But now they have pulled it back. They have taken the lead. And it is a 3-goal lead, which they might just extend to 4 goals now. And is that too much for Singapore to try and fight back from? Well, only time will tell. Another ball towards Tishala. This is to increase it to 4. She misses. Both the defenders go up for it and they tap it away. But I think that was a foul. It will be another free shot. No, it will be a pass from outside. Superb ball once again from Gayani. And Tishala misses again. Is this a bit of pressure she is feeling? The crowd erupts with a couple of misses. And luckily for her, it will be the end of the quarter soon. So the momentum can't really be taken by Singapore. But what a final we have on our hands. Even the mighty Tishala is missing. End of the third quarter. Sri Lanka 42, Singapore 39. And it is all to play for in the fourth and final one, isn't it, Junaid?
Well, that's right. And what a game this has turned out to be. 3 points, 3 goals is the lead between Sri Lanka and Singapore. And towards the end of that quarter, it looked like Sri Lanka might just edge away further. But Trishala missing out on 3 opportunities. Well, that can do, the pressure can do to the very best. Never seen her missing from that distance, that range. 3 in a row. Still have got their noses in front, and it all boils down to how Singapore starts the fourth and the final quarter.
Most definitely, quite a few shots taken. Tishala towards the end was missing a few, but before that, absolutely no problem whatsoever, setting us up for a beautiful final. Tokai Way has been great as well. That was a bit of a clash between Lim and Rashmi. Well, the big players have turned up in this final. So we'll see a few more of these shots as we prepare for what should be an exciting fourth quarter. So here we go, it all comes down to the fourth and final quarter in the grand finale of the 13th Asian Netball Championships. Sri Lanka have the lead. 6-time champions looking to make it 7. Looking to get a hat trick of those trophies. looking to make it 3 out of 3 against Singapore in the finals. Singapore do not want to settle for silver anymore. They've done that 6 times. This is the time for them to make it all count. This is where all the heroes will rise to the occasion. Here comes Singapore again from a distance. My word! What a conversion that is. Tokai Wei is in a world of her own right now. Can anybody stop her? And can she be the difference in this game? We'll have to wait and watch. Trying to win back possession there again, Singapore. Over the top they go. Gayani gets the ball back into a wide position. Tishala is there. She's always there. Reena can't get the ball off her. Tishala sets herself. She missed a couple towards the end of that third quarter. If she keeps scoring, it's going to be very tough for Singapore to get back into this one.
Well, that's right. And I think Reena has been introduced just to make sure she gets those tickles, gets the ball away from Tishala. Here's Lee into the action straight away in the fourth quarter. And Lee misses out. Couldn't quite get the rebound. Malmi is there with the win. Here's Gayanjali. Here's Malmi. Knocks it over. Dulangi gets to it. Back with Malmi. Here's Rashmi. Back with Sushima. Gayanjali keeps it. Well, you'll have to try and avoid making those mistakes. You can't miss out on absolute sitters. They'll have to rise to the occasion. The likes of Lee, she's been absolutely phenomenal right throughout. And it's the days as such, the days like these, that matters the most. And here you go. Rashmi with an easy conversion. A standard shot, finding the net. Well, Sri Lanka, never know, might just bring their experience into play. Their winning habits. Add the fray here. We've seen in the past, they could have been slow starters. And then once they get into their strides, they become unstoppable. Infringement down there. This time Shitswide and Tishala just knocked out by the goal defense. Still a yellow ball. Minkim with another knock. Malmi. Back with Rashmi, who finds Tishala. Perhaps no. Reena gets the rebound. And here comes Singapore. They'll have to try and convert this one. Is there a contact? Enough contact perhaps. He's got some space to work with. Back pass again. Finds Kaur, who couldn't quite latch on to it.
Yes, they've just dropped that momentum, that intensity slightly. Singapore, and you can feel that Sri Lanka are not going to let it slip. They mean business. It's not about how you start, it's about how you finish, especially in the final. We've seen this many times where one team comes out all guns blazing, but then they just fizzle out. Is that going to be the case for Singapore? Here's Go, gets the ball back. Tokai Wei turns, plays it. That's a wonderful pass. Showed that she was playing it wide and then played it towards Lee, who leaves it for her. Tokai Wei is taking matters into her own hands. And this is a double possession. Can they make a second one out of it? Go Wei Ping plays it to Tan. Back to Go, back to Tan. Lee is free, doesn't want to take the shot. She leaves it for Tokai Wei, who misses that one. And that is a mistake from Singapore's point of view. And Junaid, does it look like Lee doesn't want to take too many of the shots anymore? She's just leaving it to Tokai Wei.
You're absolutely right there. And here's Tishala meanwhile, and couldn't quite get it. We'll have a go at it again. Yes, the point that you were trying to make, Liam, because I'm not quite sure if that's a lack of confidence, because she has missed out on a couple of opportunities in the start of the fourth quarter as well as once in the third quarter. Maybe she wants the player in the form of To to take most of those opportunities. Well, the contribution have to come from all sides. If she's definitely lacking some confidence, maybe it's time to introduce Amandeep Kaur Chahal back on the court. Here's Reena. Looking for options down the court. Brings it forward. Again, not finding themselves into the right sort of spaces. Been quite a few passes just in the center. They'll have to regroup, regather. She takes it, and again a bad miss. Malmi gets the rebound. We've talked so much about the height advantage, but at the moment, that advantage is being played in favor of Sri Lanka. And couldn't quite retrieve it. That means Singapore will get the restart. It's trying to belt it down the center. Still got 8 minutes and 40 seconds left in this contest. 4 goals is the differential between these two sides. In the scheme of things, it's not a big lead. The good thing Singapore has done is they have kept themselves in touching distance. All they'll have to do from here on is provide a finishing touch to that. But the way things have turned out, especially in this quarter, it's definitely not looking favorable for them. Another good ball for Kaur. And this time converts. Gets that deficit back to 3 once again.
Yes, they need to keep going like this. They can't afford to miss any. Can Singapore? They will retain possession there. And what you said was correct. They might just have to bring in Amandeep, because if Lee is not shooting right now, how much can Go do on her own? To do on her own? That's what we need to know. Here is Lee. That is more like it from her. Again, she leaves it to To Kaiwei, who scores without an issue. And if Amandeep is to come on, then how long do they wait to bring her on? She gets off the bench. There are the fans watching on. If Amandeep is on, she needs to come on now, because in the last 3-4 minutes, there will be too much pressure on her. How about that? Fantastic work. The goalkeeper, Reena, getting a touch there. But then Sri Lanka get the ball back. A bit of a scare for them. They need to win this possession somehow, Singapore. Rashmi shoots and scores. Ice in her veins, and she takes a deep breath after that. Sri Lanka have been here before. They have won the competition before. That is always an added advantage. The last time Singapore won this was 10 years ago. That makes a big difference. Here is To Kaiwei again. To Go Wei Ping. Gets it back. To with the shot. Misses. That is a huge miss, but on the rebound she gets it back. She will take it closer and won't miss the second time round. Do they retain possession as well? That is so important now. No, they don't. Sri Lanka will take it forward into the final 6.5. We go.
If Lee is not prepared to take those chances, meanwhile it's Tishala here, who takes a chance of her own and converts. If she is not prepared to take those chances, then you are sort of providing an advantage to the opponent, because they'll simply try and mark out To, because this time will she? Pretty sure she will. Allows the goal defense to jump and make this one count. Much better from Lee. It's going to come down to how good these teams battle their nerves. Here's Tishala, who gets her hand to it. Will have a go at the target and score. Reena there with a desperate attempt to try and win the ball back. Good to see fans turning out in numbers. A lot of Sri Lankan fans out here to support the team. And of course, Singapore fans as well. Again, it looked like for a moment that she was looking for a better option perhaps. Was looking at To to take that shot. Couldn't find any options and had to go herself and did take that shot. You rightly pointed out, I do see Amandeep Kaur on the sidelines. Maybe there's an introduction. There has to be a substitute. It has to be now, Liam.
Most definitely, here comes Tishala once again to make it 49 for Sri Lanka. And that height advantage means that she gets the ball right under the net. Sri Lanka are not allowing Singapore to get the ball right under the net. To is taking all the shots from a distance. She's scoring everything. This is sensational. Wow, indeed. And having called most of these Singapore games, she has not been in the goal attacking position too much. Go Wei Ping has been there. Kaur and Lee have been there as well. But this just goes to show what an all-round netball player she is. Oh, and that is a big mistake. That's a big mistake from Sri Lanka. This is a chance now to get within one of Singapore. To, is she going to take a shot from a distance? She scores!
Oh my word!
That is incredible. And all of us at home watching erupt, and all of us in the studio erupt as well. Here goes Lee to equalize for Singapore. Oh, there we go. It's 49 all.
This is absolutely exhilarating stuff. Both teams just not giving up. What a game, what a day. Definitely have saved the best for the last. There's Tishala on one side, there's Lee on the other, and there's To. Of course, you've got the likes of Rashmi. Have managed to pull it back.
Once again, Singapore get ahead. That's a lovely ball from To, but was the touch there from the Sri Lankan player? Yes, it was. And that is 50 apiece with under 3 minutes to go. This is the best possible final we could ask for. Around 2:20 to play. Rashmi to Tishala, who scores. Oh no, she doesn't. I called it a little too early, but on the rebound, there was a tap. She's also feeling the pressure. And now it will be very important for the Singapore, or rather for all the defenders, to make sure that they don't make too many fouls. You don't want to give a double possession right now, because that could turn the game on its head. That might be a foul. Yes, it will be. To Kaiwei takes a step in front. Under 2 minutes now, and it's 51 apiece. This is sensational stuff, and you can see lots of the crowd supporting the Singapore side. Sri Lanka have made the journey just across to India, but look at that. That is another turnover. That is a mistake, and this is a chance for Singapore now to take the lead. Might be the most important possession that we've had so far in the final. Tan turns, and now she plays it towards To Kaiwei. This is for the lead in the final. She scores!
Wow!
What are we witnessing here, Junaid?
What a performance this is turning out to be from To. Absolutely exhilarating stuff from Singapore. They have taken the lead, and how? Still got 60 seconds to play. Block coming in from Malmi. Lee gets to it. Just outside the circle. They stand with the ball. And Lee misses out. We're talking about the introduction of Amandeep Kaur. If Lee is lacking confidence, he misses out an opportunity. A good interception there coming in from the wing attack. She goes down on the court. 38 crucial seconds. Can Sri Lanka survive the scare? Is a big question. This game reminiscing of the 2018-2022 edition. In the dying embers of the game, another foul committed. She goes back on the court, arms up in the air. The umpire is having a word. Liam, who have you got your money on?
Tension all around. Oh well, that's the toughest question you asked, Junaid. Just a few seconds to go. Right now, Sri Lanka just won the equalizer. Tishala under the net. She's got a score. She misses. Is that the miss that gives Singapore the cup? My word. That might be a foul. We're just waiting for confirmation. Rashmi will keep possession. Is that the final whistle? We're just waiting for the shot to be taken. She misses. Oh no, it goes in. Are we going to overtime here? What a final, Junaid. And it looks like we are going into overtime.
It looked like it was Singapore to begin with. And then came Sri Lanka through the likes of Tishala, Rashmi. Singapore said, no, we're not going to give it away. Then came To, then came Lee. And then Sri Lanka somehow, right in the dying embers of the contest, pulling things back. We stand on level terms. Oh my word, what have we just witnessed?
Sensational stuff, and the crowd have got their worth. We were speechless in the studio here, and you can see that the Sri Lankan fans know that they have just about stayed in this final. Into overtime we go, and just gives everybody a chance to relax for a second. Edge of the seat stuff, a thrilling final, and for a second it looked like Sri Lanka were down and out. After the final whistle, Rashmi had a chance to shoot. It hit the rim, it was in the air, and it was one of those film-like moments where time stood still. But the ball found its way into the net, and now it's into overtime.
That's right, and a chance for us to have some water, to have a bit of a breather, regather ourselves, because what we have witnessed just now is something unimaginable. We can't write a script for these. We've seen some one-sided affairs right throughout, and then right towards the back end of the tournament, some of the close encounters, and this is definitely the closest one. The first game, sort of on a level terms, both the teams, this is the closest Singapore have got. 52-52. 2018, it was 69-53. 63-53. 2018, it was 69-50. 2022, it was 63-53. And here, 2024, 52 apiece. They've kept coming close every opportunity they've got to face Sri Lanka in the finals. And here they are again as the Indian contingent. They had a good game yesterday against Chinese Taipei. Lakshmi cover, Aishwarya, you can see them in the frame.
So it will be two halves of 7 minutes each, with an interval of 1 minute half time. So we've got 14 more minutes of enthralling netball action to go. If it still stays tied, then we will go into more or less a sudden death, where one team has to have a 2-goal advantage. Brilliant stuff here. 14 more minutes to play, Junaid, and we are so lucky to be calling this one, aren't we?
That's right, and what a moment this is turning out to be, because this game has been gripping right from the get-go. I've called it so many games, but this is something else. Two of the best teams in the continent. Sri Lanka will get it underway. Here's Gyanjali. Rashmi can see the chirps, the chants, the roars, the fans. They're all into it, supporting their teams. A lot of Sri Lankan fans out here. Singapore are not short of any support. Here's Dulangi, finds Tishala. There was a contact. We'll have a go at the target and less pressure this time. Guess one for Sri Lanka. Here comes Singapore. Looking for options, decides to go left. Finds Stowe again, who has been instrumental right throughout and gets one back for Singapore, Liam. This girl just doesn't stop scoring.
No, she doesn't. As I said, she's taken this final into her own hands and almost single-handedly in that fourth quarter got Singapore back, got them the lead actually. And then the beauty of it all is that Tishala, who scored all the goals for Sri Lanka, she scored 42 of them. It was Rashmi who had to get the job done and score from a distance, from an acute angle, and take us into overtime. Tishala scores that one again, and it is 44 plays 43 here. Sri Lanka take the lead again, and it is also time for all of us to just relax a little bit. Here comes Singapore again. To Kaiwei gets it back from Tan, who's also been superb. And To is not missing an inch. She's not even passing to Lee anymore. What a performance we're witnessing from her. 7 minutes of extra time, 2 halves. Tishala trying to retrieve that one, won't be able to. Here's another opportunity under the net. Has to take it a little closer. And she scores this time. She's also been feeling the pressure.
Right, and that's what pressure can do. It can get to some of the best, the very best that we have witnessed in this edition. Phenomenal stuff from To. Lee, I'm not quite sure if the reason to keep Lee on the court is the height advantage, because they haven't decided to go for Amandeep Kaur for the last 2 quarters and even in the extra time.
Yeah.
Tishala gets to it. And Tishala gets one back, Liam.
Yes, I agree with you. They're just keeping Lee on the court because we know that she has also had a phenomenal game. Let's not take anything away from her. Just that I think she needs to realize that you can't depend on To to do everything. She is the goal shooter. She is the one who can win these championships for her team. It's in finals like this that you've got to turn up. Here's Tan. Gets it back. And again, it is To who goes wide and somehow gets it back from Go Wiping. Sri Lankan team also realized that she is the threat right now. She's taking another one. And off the rim and in. Reminiscent of Rashmi's late equalizer. After the buzzer, if you would call it, that equalizer. 3 and a bit to play. It's still 56, but there is a foul and this is a turnover. Singapore need to make it count. Well, they did that quite a bit in the fourth quarter. This game has ebbed and flowed. And who would have thought that we'll go into extra time? That's a poor pass. Singapore trying to force it there with Tan. And now Sri Lanka can make the most of it. They can go back into the lead with this possession. Nice turn there from Gayanjali. Plays it towards Rashmi, who scores again. Ice in her veins.
Eyes in her veins, picture of concentration. We can use all the adjectives we may like, but on the given day, all these players have turned up. And what a performance on both sides. And again, To making it count. has been the best performer on the court by a distance. I'm not taking anything away from the likes of Rashmi and Tishala and of course Lee. Got Singapore back into the contest. And here comes Sri Lanka. They'll have to believe Singapore. And Sri Lanka gets in front again. It's a nervous bench out there. Both sides, some of the players not sitting there, have stood standstill, and again a bad miss. Looked like it got trickled in the way because there was a contact perhaps on the ball or on the player. To touches the rim and gets through it. Again an equalizer for Singapore. We've got 1 minute and 10 seconds left in the first of the extra times.
Here we go again. Just under 1 minute to go. Rashmi looking for her 14th. No, she doesn't. She plays it to Tishala. That's a nice, smart pass. And Tishala doesn't miss. 10 with possession for Singapore. Every shot counts. Every pass counts. Here they come again. Go Wei Ping gets the ball back. Tokai Wei. There is a foul called already. Go will keep possession. And To once again shoots and scores. No point going for the rebound. For a second she thought she might have missed, but that was inch perfect. Nothing but net from this champion of a netballer. And all of the crowd erupts once again. And there is nothing to separate these two teams. It was 52 all at the end of full time. At half time of extra time, it's 59 apiece. What do we need to do to separate these two?
Here's Singapore. We've got the introduction of Amandeep Kaur Chahal to our liking. That's what we've been calling for, because if Lee is not comfortable with her shooting, then Amandeep Kaur could definitely be an option. They are still on level terms with 7 minutes to go. Amandeep has had a very good game. Was substituted, and Amandeep, commentator's curse. Missed out on an opportunity, rebound, and this time manages to get one back. 60 to Singapore, 59 to Sri Lanka. What a game we are witnessing. And here's Singapore again. Amandeep Kaur through to the center. Here's To again, looking for options. Decides to go back pass. Again gets it. Fred's inside the circle. Decides to shoot, and what a goal that is! Absolutely brilliant from Singapore, Liam.
She is incredible. And the beauty about what Amandeep did before that is that she made sure the tap came in from the defender. Once you get the tap, you know that even if you miss, you're going to get a foul. And that is smart playing from Amandeep, firstly, and then secondly, To is on a different level today. Here is Tishala. To get it within one, she does. Super stuff from Singapore on the double possession. They made sure to get both the goals and to take that lead. Here's Tokai Wei once again. Misses this time, but Amandeep keeps it in. How about that for a rebound? Superb stuff. We saw them do this once again. These two together know exactly what they're doing. And their lead just confirms that it's a 2-goal lead for Singapore. Is this the time that they hold on to it? Sri Lanka are never going to give up. They are the defending champions. They will get a free pass here over the top to Tishala. There was a foul from Lim. This will be another opportunity to play it back in. Under 5 to play. Tishala scores. Just one in between these two.
That's right, and they have to try and get a couple and try and manage the game from there on. Singapore, Sri Lanka will have to do likewise because both these teams are on equal terms. Nothing much to separate. And again, brilliantly done. Ke Wei To, absolutely marvelous as she has been right throughout this game. Allowing the defender to commit once again and then taking the shot and converting. Here's Sri Lanka. It's all about making less number of mistakes in the last 4 minutes. And that goes for both the teams. Fed the ball inside the circle, let the likes of Tishala, Rashmi get on it, have a go at the target. On the other side, Amandeep, there's a contact. Tishala will have a go, and Tishala gets it. They are in touching distance of one another. Here's Singapore this time. Has got options, a lot of space to work with. An overlapping run coming in from To, who gets one more added to the total. Brilliant work again. Lays it off nicely for the player playing through the center and then made that run, got it inside the circle, received the ball and had a go at the target and scored. Brilliantly done once again by To.
Absolutely fantastic. We're running out of superlatives to describe her. Tishala, on the other hand, has been on another level. Not missing whatsoever. 63-64. Advantage to Singapore. But it can all change in a game of netball with this double possession. Tan almost loses it out. She will get it back. She has a bit of space. Tokai Wei plays it to the side. Go Wei Ping has also been so good in this wide attacking position. That'll be another foul. Chahal. Will she shoot or will she pass? She shoots and she scores. 65 to Singapore. She is not afraid of shooting, that's for sure. And finally the substitution did come in. And Chahal making the most of it. Has that gone out of play? No, it hasn't. It's been kept in. But it's possession to Singapore with 2 to play. They've got a goal lead of 2. They need to score this one. And there will be a bit of breathing space between them and the defending champions, whose crown might be slipping off their heads as we speak. This is such an important possession for Singapore. Just over 2 to play. Another chance here for To to turn. She needs to score this. No, she passes it to Amandeep. She says, you have a go. And she scores. And the difference between Sri Lanka and Singapore is 3 now. And the main thing is that Tishala is going under the net, while Singapore are taking their shots from a distance, Junaid. So it's 2 different tactics from these teams.
Well, that's right, and what a tactical masterclass this is, because the player was short in confidence in Lee, was taken out. Amandeep Kaur Chahal introduced in the added on time. That introduction has paid dividends, and that lead keeps growing. That crown seems to be slipping away now from Sri Lanka. 60 seconds and a bit left in this contest, and that lead has gone up to 4 now. They've got a lot of catching up to do in the context of the game, because these girls from Singapore are not going to slip it away from now. 40 seconds, 45, and Sri Lanka couldn't quite get the conversion, was looking at the umpire for probably an infringement. Nothing says the umpire. Zrina with the restart. Singapore on the ascendancy again. Amandeep Kaur Chahal looking for options, scans the court, shifts it towards interception. Here comes Sri Lanka. Dulangi goes back, finds Gyanjali. Gyanjali has to go back. Good marking by Singapore. 8 seconds. Tishala finds one. And there's a tap in. Goes out of the play, Liam. What a stuff this is turning out to be.
Now this could be the end. Sri Lanka get it to 64. Not too sure how much time remaining. Only the scorer's desk and the referees will know. Singapore feel like they've got it. They are in the lead by 3. Can they hold on to it? A few seconds to go. Here they go again. Chahal keeps possession. Unnecessary pass from her. She just needs to keep the ball with Singapore. And that is it. Singapore are your Asian Netball Champions. They have done it. And after 10 long years, they win their 4th title. And it's getting emotional here, Junaid. What a final we've witnessed.
Well, that's right. What a final we have witnessed. They had to wait for 10 long years. And after 8 long years, that ground has slipped away from Sri Lanka. These girls in blue had to wait for long. They've been there in the past, have lost on 2 finals back in 2018 and 2022. 3rd time lucky. You can see those emotions, those tears flowing through the eyes. The crowd is absolutely stunned. Sri Lanka were one of the form favorites to go all the way. And on the big day, Singapore had other ideas. And they have made a match of it, and how. They were leading the game at about half-time mark. Then came Sri Lanka with some sort of performance, who were leading, had their noses in front, and right towards the very end, one brilliant performance from KV To turned it around and rushed me towards the dying embers of the full time, converts one, gets them into level terms, took the game into the extra time, and from there on is being Singapore, Liam. What a performance, what a final we have just witnessed.
Absolutely fantastic. Look at the scenes of elation. They're so emotional, the Singapore side. They've been through a lot together. And even in this final, it was a roller coaster of emotions. But they have managed to do the unthinkable. They have managed to knock Sri Lanka off their perch. And at full time, in an exhilarating, exciting final, it is Sri Lanka 64, Singapore 67. 3 points is the difference. It took extra time. And it took everything in between. But spare a thought for Sri Lanka. They have been superb. But Singapore, you have to say, just clinched it when they had to. And took away with a performance for the ages. One of the best individual ones we've seen. And this has been an absolute honor to call throughout the championships. And of course in the final with you, Junaid.
That's right, Liam. And Sri Lanka didn't lose a game in 2018 edition. Went all the way undefeated, won the championship, replicated the same performance, the same feat in 2022. It looked like they might just do it again this time around, but Singapore defeating them on the very big day and dethroning them. That's the full-time scoreline. 64 to Sri Lanka, Singapore 67. The deserving Asian champions. Scenes of jubilation, happy tears, one happy bunch, a very happy unit. And there you see the Indian team applauding the feat Singapore have just achieved. Lee, To, Minking, Amandeep Kaur Chahal, Reena, who was drafted in, commanded that circle. Brilliant performance from her. And of course, not to forget the wing defense, the wing attack, everybody chipping in. It's always a teamwork. From the Sri Lankan side, Tishala has always had a very good game. The likes of Gayani, who's been brilliant in the back line, had solidified their defense. And this was the day Sri Lanka would have been tested. And Singapore just making sure they have the bragging rights towards the end of the competition. They remain unbeaten, unchallenged. The challenge came in the form of Sri Lanka. They made sure they oversee that. To all the viewers who are watching us live or who have just joined us, this was the 13th edition of the Netball Championship, coming to you live from India. Got the hosting after 35 long years, and what a final we all have just witnessed. Singapore crowned the champions for the 4th time in the competition's history.
this game. I think we
But it
fought very hard for the win. Kudos to Sri Lanka for putting on such a great fight. It's definitely not easy for us because we've been playing a catch-up netball, but I think the team did really well. Yeah.
I'm very proud of the team. We fought hard all the way and we pushed for extra time. And I thought we did all our basics right and we were patient. And we made good decisions against the Sri Lanka, right? Especially towards the second half of the extra time. Right? We are very happy about the result. Yeah.
You can just send your
there you
goal
heard
shooter.
from the coach.
Yeah.
There you heard from the coach and the captain. Want to have a word with the goal shooter? Probably wants to talk to Lee, who's had a fantastic tournament. It's been a very vital cog in the wheel for Singapore. They had been patient right throughout, is what the coach said. And here's Lee having to talk to us.
Today's game pace was quite intensity, and then I shouldn't let the team down. I felt like today we were very connected, and I felt like also the team trusts me to have the ball and take the shot. Overall, everyone did very well and stay calm and play together as one.
Keeps it pretty short and crisp there. Lee P. Shane. The team trusted her. And my God, how she has repaid back that trust. It was absolutely brilliant right throughout the 4 quarters. And in the end was subbed off. Amandeep Kaur was introduced into the extra time. Overall, what a performance this has been from Singapore to dethrone Sri Lanka, who has been an absolute force in the continent from the netball standpoint. And now are the deserving champions.